benefit of the viewers watching, did Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani reject the Prophet? Did he reject the coming about of the Prophet ﷺ as a messenger?
No, he believed in the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He
Okay.
says, I believe in the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then, like Sheikh was saying, that
There is no seal there.
There is no seal, and he goes that I am the second coming. He goes on to say, I am the second coming. I am the, he says, Bruzi, which is in Urdu, which means, or Persian, which means like a a shadow of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because I'm just basically the same. In fact, he went on to say, this is amazing. He goes on to say that I am even better. This second coming is better than the first, na'udhu billah, than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So he's claiming to actually be better in status than
even the
Prophet
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
You see, actually, he claimed that I am a prophet. Then he says, I am a Muhammad Rasulullah. According to their belief, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has come twice in this world. Once he came in Makkah and Medina, second in Qadian. But in the face of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. So one of his poets, he said, Muhammad phir utar aaye hum mein. Muhammad is come back again here. Muhammad phir utar aaye hum mein. Aage se badhkar apni shaan mein. He was better than that. Aage se badhkar apni shaan mein. Muhammad dekhne ho jisne akmal. If you want to see the Muhammad in perfect, you can see in Qadian. This is poetry, and it was read in front of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. He didn't reject it. This is not only this one. He said the time of the Muhammad is first moon, like first moon, and my time is 14 moon, so full moon.
So it's much better, he said.
Much better.
Yeah.
Not only one quotation, I can quote you lot of quotations.
Okay. Well, just on that point, inshallah, I'll just put a question to the viewers. Obviously, if you've got any questions regarding, Qadianism, because it's not a topic that is discussed every day. So it's not a topic that maybe a lot of us have enough knowledge on, so that when we come against someone who is a Qadian, maybe we won't be able to differentiate between him and a normal Muslim. So give us a call if you have any questions regarding this. We've got experts who are fighting, who are striving in this field especially, just to dispel those myths. The number in the studio is 0208-523-2050. That's 0208-523-2050. So inshallah, please do give us a call, and inshallah speak to the brothers here. Now obviously, one thing when I was just doing research regarding the whole idea of Qadianism is that not only did Mirza Ahmad Qadiani believed he was better than the Prophet, but he also said that his followers can eventually become better than the Prophet as well, through spiritual enlightenment. I mean, how was he obviously had the gift of the gab, as they say in English. He obviously knew how to speak to these people. How was he gathering these people? Because because at the moment, if you see now, Qadianism is throughout the world. So how has he managed to grow this falsehood?
You mentioned that how he gathered the people. This was also, like we were saying, this is our claim, and it's quite obvious from his writings and historical accounts that he had the full support of the government, the establishment at the time, and with all publishing such works and have them distributed all over the world. In those days, we were talking about days when print wasn't that common yet.
Obviously, it took
so it required a lot of resources, a lot of funding, and it required a lot of workers and a lot of volunteers. So this, obviously, like you mentioned, obviously it seems like he had a full support from the establishment at the time.
While he was alive, how many followers would you say?
Not much. Because I have written an article, and which you can see on our website.
What is the website address?
Website address is khatmenubuwat.org.
Okay, inshallah.
So you can see on the checker. And some Qadiani who born as a Qadiani and became Muslim. And just now he has written a article about that. They are not so much, but they are claiming we are 200 million. But when you check their website, there are so many websites. Some websites say some different thing. Some websites say some different thing. One says 200 million. One says 170 million. One says 70 million. So they are not much. I think most of in Pakistan, maybe 5 lakh, 5 lakhs.
500,000.
500,000. You can imagine how much they're in the world.
But also, as I understand it, from the initial beginning, and after Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani passed away, that they split in two, the
Yeah.
Lahori movement, and I think they were called the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. I think there was two.
No, there's a two group. They divided in 1914. Mirza died in 1908, 26 May 1908. And after that, his friend, his name is Hakim Nuruddin, is the first Khalif. First Khalifa, they call them. So, after his death in 1914, there was a conflict between two groups. One led by Maulana Muhammad Ali from Lahore, and one is Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad. He is the son of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad.
Okay.
So on that conflict on the Khilafah. So this group, the second group, they run away from Qadian to Lahore. And they call themselves, they so-called Ahmadiyya, Anjuman Ahmadiyya Ishaat-e Islam Lahore. This is the name. We cannot say Islam, they are not Muslim. And this is Ahmadiyya Muslim Association, but the main group is that one.
Okay.
This Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani's son, Mirza Mahmud, they believe that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is a Nabi Rasul. They also believe the Nabi, but they say a little bit twisting. They say, no, we don't believe Rasulullah, we believe Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Khatamun Nabiin, final prophet. But Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is a bruisey Nabi, shadow Nabi.
Just finishing off the work.
Yeah, twisting the word.
Yeah.
But actually, they are conflict between on the Khilafah. So one group went in 1914, but it is a very small group, not big group. But main group is the Qadiani.
Okay. Well, just before we get to obviously when they split, let's just discuss a bit about this person's life. Now, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sent down a prophet, He made sure that that prophet's life was full of honor, full of dignity, even at the time of death. You know, some prophets were slaughtered, but they were shaheed. The Prophet ﷺ was given such an honorable death. How did this Mirza Ahmad die?
Okay, this is very controversial, but I can say you a little bit.
Okay.
He has a argument with Maulana Sanaullah Marsari. Between that, the Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said, you are saying so and so and so, you are swearing me, so I am making Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dua that you are correct or I am correct. Allah knows better. So if you are correct, I will die in your life.
Okay.
Or if I am correct, so you will die like cholera.
Okay.
So Mirza Qadiani, he died with cholera. We can prove it with their own books. Siratul Mahdi, I can quote, he died with cholera, and I can challenge to any Qadiani. And Mir Nasir Nawab, he has also written a biography of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. In this book he said he died with cholera. I can prove it.
And where is he buried at the moment?
Buried in the Qadian. He died in Lahore.
Okay.
And he buried in the Qadian.
Okay.
Nabi, where he died,
Should be buried there.
buried in the same place.
And has his grave become like a place of worship for them?
Masjid Nabawi, you know, like the Masjid Nabawi. But he says the Qadian is Darul Aman. I got a fatwa in the month of May or July from Al-Azhar that this group is not Muslim. Well, Lahori or Qadiani as a both. They are not
This is
Muslim.
not just fatwas from scholars just in the Indian subcontinent. This come from throughout the world. Alhamdulillah, unanimously on this. Inshallah.
If you know about the Rabita Alim Islami, which is the central Muslim ulama organization, which is all the ulama from all over the world are there, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah.
Alhamdulillah.
And those scholars, they all unanimously passed this fatwa that they are Qadianis are out of the fold of Islam because due to their beliefs. And also, I mean, this is not just coming from us. This is coming from their writings. If you read their writings, they make it clear that they're not Muslim. They make it clear. They said we're different. They're not allowed to read janazah of the Muslims. They're not allowed to pray with us. They're not allowed to pray with us. They're not allowed to marry us. They're not allowed to go to the haram. They don't want to go to the haram. They said haram al-Makki and haram al-Madani have nothing left in them. Na'udhu billah.
Okay, inshallah. Just on that point, we've got callers already waiting on the line, so we'll start taking the callers, inshallah. So if we can have the first caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
Walaikum salam, brother. Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Kamran Khan.
Yes, brother. And what would you like to say?
I just want to ask the Maulana
Yes.
and the Sheikh, did they... Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Walaikum salam.
Wa salam.
Yes, brother.
You know the Qadiani people, did they insult the Isa alayhi salam? If yes, can you mention which book they did insult, like, like...
Okay, inshallah. Okay, jazakallah khair. I'll pass it on to the Sheikh, inshallah.
Yeah, brother, assalamu alaikum. He has insulted the Isa ala nabiyyana alayhi salatu wassalam. And I got one reference. I will read it and you will know that. God has sent the promised Messiah, that is Mirza, among the community who is better in all his glory than the first Messiah. Ruhani Khazain, this is his book.
That's the book, okay.
And volume 18, page 233. And there is a book, Anjam-e Atham, is volume 11. If you read that book, it is online, the Qadiani website, you can read online. Or if you don't get the reference, then call me, inshallah I will give you. So many, not in one, so many books he has written, abusing the Hazrat Isa ala nabiyyana alayhi salatu wasalam. If somebody abuse any Nabi, he cannot claim to be a Muslim.
SubhanAllah. Well, I hope that answers the brother's question. But obviously, this is a topic which, needs a lot of research, needs full understanding. Obviously, what I would advise the callers to do, inshallah, is if they can log on to the website, which is www.khatmanubuwwat.org. If they have any questions, or they'll be, they can obtain these literatures. I mean, I'm holding one up here, which is called The View of the Ummah on Qadianism. And there's various other articles and pamphlets regarding fatwas that have been issued by various Islamic scholars throughout the world, including the Imam of Al-Haram as well. Various other movements. I think the brother who just called now regarding Isa alayhi salam, this is called Jesus and the Ahmadiyya movement. So these pamphlets would be very beneficial for those brothers and sisters who would like to, inshallah, obtain further information on this. Now, obviously, we've quoted various ulama around the world. You've quoted from Al-Azhar, you've quoted from Al-Haram in Mecca, various scholars I know, including Mufti Taqi Usmani, various other top scholars in Pakistan also who have said that, that these people are not Muslim according to what belief they have. Now, they've also written in their own articles. Now, is there anything from their own books and writings where they have claimed that actually, we're not Muslim as well?
Yeah. I have a few quotations here just on that, actually. Mirza writes, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, in a letter replying to Dr. Abdul Hakim Khan, who was I believe was a Muslim. So he was writing in reply to him, and he said, God has manifested upon me that whoever doesn't accept me after my invitation has reached him is not a Muslim.
Okay.
So he is saying clearly, the person who does not believe in Mirza Ghulam Ahmad as a prophet
is a non-Muslim.
Is not a Muslim. Clearly, he's clearly saying that in his book Ruhani Khazain, volume 22, page 167. This can be found.
Okay. So
and there's various others, statements where he says clearly. And the other thing I just wanted to clarify was that they, in universities, in other places, like they will come up as saying Ahmadiyya society. So just to frame simple-minded Muslims that Ahmad, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is Ahmad.
Okay.
So they say, oh no, we believe in Ghulam Ahmad, he's Ahmad. But we say, no, you're Qadiani because you come from Qadian.
Yeah.
And you get this in universities a lot as well.
They use various names just to maybe confuse people.
It's one and the same
It's
thing.
one and the same
just
thing,
a garb,
basically.
just a garb to pretend that they're Muslim.
Yeah.
But they will completely disassociate with Muslims, and the Muslim prayer room or whatever it was, they would absolutely stay away from it.
Inshallah, Brother Usman, we'll be getting back to you very shortly, inshallah. If we could take a quick caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, caller. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, caller.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. What's your name, brother, and where are you calling from?
My name is Habib. I'd like to just know about the TV channels. Is there any Qadiani TV channel existing at this moment?
Well, I think you'd have to do research yourself. I'm not sure if there is one. But
Do you know any channel?
our main objective here is to show you the difference between what their beliefs are and what ours are. And for you out there to actually distinguish for yourself and then make a decision, are you going to follow the true Islam or the wrong Islam? So rather than going on specific channels or specific media or specific print, if you like, we'd refrain from that, and we'd ask you, inshallah, to make your own research on that point.
But one, I would